All right, so we are here in my living room and not shooting in my office as usual. This being the last video of 2024 and the first video of 2025. And today we're going to be talking about 3 things you should be thinking about if you're going to be starting a clothing line next year or this year, whenever you see this video. So let's talk about it next here on Making the Brand. What's up, everybody? Rob Norman here from Planet Brooklyn Academy, and this is Making the Brand Season 2, a series where I give you a little knowledge and insight on how to start a clothing brand, and if you already have one, how to make it better. As always, please hit that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with everything I drop when I drop. So it is 2025 or 2024, the ending, depending on when you're watching this video, but it will definitely be 2025 in a couple of hours or the next day or so. So you're thinking about starting a clothing line in 2025. Well, 3 things you should consider. First thing you should be considering is if you're thinking about doing a clothing line, do it. That's the first thing out the box. Do it. Some of you may have been talking about in 2024, oh, I'm going to start my clothing line and I just don't have the money. And then 2024 went by and now 2025 is here and you're going, I think I'm going to start my line. Just start it. Whether you have money or don't have money, it doesn't matter. Start your brand. You don't need to even have to put out product this year. If you just sit down and take 10 to 15 minutes a day and just write down ideas, concepts, come up with a name for your brand. Think about your marketing, who you're going to market to. Start thinking about who your competitors are. Do the background research that you need to do. File your paperwork to get trademarks and get your LLCs. Do all of that. You should not be sitting there waiting till you have money to launch a line because that money may never come. So you need to do things to work up to that. And the worst thing to do is waiting on money and getting the money and then starting because you could have done all the groundwork ahead of time. So take care of all those things ahead of time. Just lay out the groundwork, take care of all the paperwork and the behind the scenes things. And when you get up to the part where you need money, then you don't stop, then you go after the money. So at least when you get it, you can keep going forward. You don't have to now think about all that stuff you've already taken care of. So that's the first thing you need to think about. Now, the second thing you need to think about starting a clothing brand in 2025 is that the market has changed significantly. People are not into just buying random brands anymore. The market has gotten so much, well, not even the market, the consumer has gotten so much smarter over the last few years, and they care more about product. It's not so much about, all these brands on Instagram just trying to sell you stuff. People don't want to be sold anymore on just product. So they're looking for quality. So if you're creating your brand, you need to think about creating a quality product and a quality company. People are not just going to buy a bunch of t-shirts because they're posted online. People are tired of seeing those ads running in social media, and the algorithm is changing. So you're not going to be seeing as much as these brands anymore that's just trying to sell you another t-shirt of another company doing the same thing that someone else is doing. People are being very discerning with their money. So make sure whatever you create, believe in something. Make your brand represent something. If you believe in sustainability, promote that. People are being more aware of what brands are doing when they're making their clothing, especially the bigger brands. So they're looking for smaller companies that are being sustainable, thinking about, the world and how production is done, effectively, making sure that people are getting paid, fair wages. Make sure your brand is about that. If not, make your brand about something that you believe in. People will gravitate more towards that. People are not just buying another shirt because it's the fad. If everybody's doing this one thing, suddenly everybody wants to jump on that and produce the same thing. Those times are ending now. People are now realizing and catching on to that. So they're looking for individual things and companies that can make them stand out. So create that brand that will make you stand out. Now, the third thing you need to consider is also how you market your brand. As I just said, the algorithm has changed. So in social media, you're not going to see a lot of brands showing up in your feeds like they used to. Hashtags aren't working the same way they used to. So how are you going to get your brand out there and how are you going to make people know about your brand? How are you going to sell these things? So you have to start finding different tactics to market your brand because traditional ways aren't working. One thing you need to think about that I've been seeing, and put this on your radar, people are starting to use their live stream more for marketing and selling products. Now, if a lot of you remember QVC, And you should remember it because QVC is still around, but basically the home shopping network where people can sit on their couch and just order products that they see on television. I'm starting to see people go that route using their streaming. And if you haven't done it yet, this may be a way to further your marketing and actually hone in on your consumer. Because if you use your lives that you use on Instagram or use them on Facebook, you can start selling product to your consumers and do limited drops that way and let them know that every Wednesday and Saturday you're going live for 2 hours and you're doing special drops, and after those drops are sold out, that's it. You can probably make more money streaming that way than trying to just run ads on Instagram and on TikTok, stuff like that. So start looking more into actually doing that live selling. I think that's going to be a big thing in 2025, and people are sleeping on it, and a lot of people aren't talking about it. So I'm putting you guys up on game first about that. So make sure you look into that. So those are the 3 things that you should be looking for, and I will give you a bonus one to consider. It is 2025, but next year is the World Cup. You should be working on your World Cup merchandise now. I'm working on mine right now. I'm in the midst of working on our jerseys and our full kits, but we're designing them now. Next summer, 2026 is World Cup, and it's in North America. Now, it's going to be spread out between East Coast, West Coast, Mexico, Canada. So it's going to be all over. So it's a huge opportunity for you to capitalize on this event because it's the biggest event in the world. So it only comes every 4 years. So if you want to be able to capitalize on it, you need to do it now, especially being in the US because we don't normally get the World Cup. So you should be designing your World Cup stuff now. By the end of 2025, they will announce the brackets of what countries will be playing in what cities. So it will give you a better idea if you want to be very specific. If you want to root for Brazil or you want to root for the US, you'll know exactly what cities they'll be in. So you'll know you have a better chance at selling product in those cities if you're in those cities. But nonetheless, it's still a perfect opportunity to sell product. So you should be designing that now. And by the time the brackets come out at the end of the year, you should be starting to market. I myself will be marketing right after they drop the boxes. Once they know where everybody's playing and who they're playing against, once we know the brackets, I'm going to be marketing my product right after that. And granted, it will still be 6 months out before the World Cup, but I will start marketing it then. And then in the first quarter of 2026, I'll start taking pre-orders because I want people to have my product before the World Cup. I want people to start buying it and wearing it. You don't want to start selling your product during the World Cup because people are only going to wear it for that certain amount of time. I want to make sure I get the most bang for my buck. So I'm going to start trying to do pre-orders within the first quarter of 2026. So take what I'm saying, use it as well. So start getting ahead of the market. Start designing now for your World Cup and do what I do. Start marketing it as soon as the brackets are known and start doing pre-orders at the first quarter of 2026. All right, so that's everything I have to tell you guys for right now. Also want to just give you guys an update of what we're doing here for 2025. I'm just going to start a new show, basically a new show, but a new, not on the same channel, but just a new type of show where I'm going to be basically showing you how to develop a brand on each video. So basically, I'll take you through all the steps in every video, how to build up your brand. And it basically follows the course of my book. So we'll break down the book and we'll go over each chapter and it'll tell you exactly, like first chapter will be like how to come up with your names. The next one is about how developing your marketing and how to decide on who your target audience is and so on and so forth. So I'll be dropping a video, which is almost like a lecture, but it'll be kind of a bare bones version of it. A lot more streamlined than what I teach at the school and what is in the book, but still giving you basically a framework to use to create your own brand. So we'll be starting that new series this year also. And I got a couple other things in the works, a new podcast show that we'll be doing. So I'll keep you guys up to date on all that. But that's it for now. I hope this is good information for you guys, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Peace.